All right, we should be up and running now. What's up, folks? A couple things before we get rolling. One, happy Father's Day to all the fellow dads out there. I know that obviously the majority of our demographics here are male, so I'm sure a bunch of you guys have kids. Hopefully they spoil you today and you are able to, I don't know, maybe they leave you alone, let you go golfing, maybe you spend good time with them, whatever you want to do. I hope it's fantastic. And because I'm a dad, if you all could do me a favor as a special gift for Father's Day, just click the thumbs up button on the video. That would be much appreciated. I am riding high this morning after that Bucks Nets game last night. Not only did my team win, which is obviously what I'm thrilled about, but you know how I am. I just love good sports games. That was one for the ages. That was a fantastic game. It had everything, the shot to stepping on the line. I mean, it had it all, comebacks, multiple lead changes. I mean, that's everything you want out of a sports game. So whether you are rooting for the Nets, the Bucks, or just flat out neutral, it is great when you get a game like that because we love the entertainment purpose of sports. And that's one of, well, it's easier for me because I'm a Bucks guy to be happy about that one. But I mean, just as an entertainment perspective, it's one of the better games I've seen in a while. So that was a lot of fun last night. I hope you guys were able to enjoy it. We got ourselves a game 7 this evening and a game 1 today. Coming a little late today because I was so caught up in my Bucks hysteria, I forgot to look at the Clippers Phoenix Suns starting today. So getting a little bit of a late start, but we're here to break this one down. We got ourselves a 2-game slate. We don't get a lot of these left throughout the rest of the playoffs. It's been a fun year, and I appreciate all the help you guys have given us. So this is members only, free to the public. Let's start with the big news of the day is no Kawhi and no CP3 game. Clippers have had a few games without Kawhi, and their prices have adjusted accordingly. Everybody's Buco Bucks. The Suns, however, have a threesome here that I'm very, very interested in, and that is going to be starting your lineups with Cameron Payne. You got to assume that he's going to play real, real good minutes. I don't think there's any reason that you should anticipate a guy like Langston Galloway getting any of the time on the court unless there's major blowouts. I think you just assume Cameron plays big minutes in this one. You ride with that. And then I also love Devin Booker today. I put him on the cover for a reason. You've watched the Clippers win because of offense more than defense, right? Like they've really struggled to stop guys like Luka Doncic and Donovan Mitchell. If Mitchell hadn't gotten hurt last series, I wonder how that one would have played out. And Book putting on the show today, I feel very comfortable. He is as rested as anybody could be. And there could be some rust there, no doubt about it. But I'm riding with Book today. No questions asked. And then I do also really like DeAndre Ayton. This is a guy that if you just look through his production throughout the playoffs, I've been very impressed by him. His numbers weren't always there. He had to get up against Jokic. He should definitely get plenty of field goal attempts today. And where are the Clippers weakest? Well, they're weakest on the interior. So give me some DeAndre Ayton for sure. This is a threesome I feel very comfortable starting my lineups with the Phoenix Suns at home. Now, if there's more rust than rest in this one, because the Suns haven't played in a hot minute, which is a possibility in this lineup, there's going to be a new slate tomorrow, right? Because this probably won't be it, but I'm going to roll with the Phoenix Suns pretty heavy today with these three. And as far as the other guys being Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder, look, man, I like both of them. I don't love them. I don't think of their necessities, but you guys know I've probably recommended Jay Crowder half of these playoffs, and he's been more solid than spectacular, but at $5K, he's fairly priced. I'm not making him a priority, but there's a possibility he makes my lineup, and the same goes for Mikal Bridges. He has grown throughout the playoffs to me, and what I mean by that is you can watch this guy getting more and more comfortable. He could easily take some shots today with Chris Paul out of the lineup. But again, much like Jay Crowder, he's in play, but far from a necessity for me on this one. Oh, got a couple seconds to take a sip of my coffee. So you get over to the Clippers, they don't have anybody that's a must to me. And what I mean by that is they just expended a ton of energy, huge emotional get-up games, game after game. They've won so far these playoffs. Doesn't mean they struggle today. They put a lot in the court, and kudos for what they did out there. Reggie Jackson, I mean, this guy had a second half for the ages. Huge price jump, but dude deserved every second of it. He's definitely in play. But the Suns are rested. They're there to play really, really good defense. And I don't think he's a must, but I do think he's in play. The same would go for Paul George. Kudos to the Clippers role players last game because, like, Paul George was fine, but I mean, he didn't do anything spectacular or special. This was Terrence Mann and Reggie Jackson's show. They were awesome. Is Paul George in play today? Yes, I'd say he's in play. What do I expect out of him? A lot more of the 55 than the 71. So I don't know if I get there today. Not because I don't think he could be good, because I just don't think he fits the build. And give me Embiid over Paul George today. Game 7 at home, must win. No reason that you can mess around and not play him big minutes. So I'm probably not going to end up there either. Terrence Mann, look, guys, he's a little bit cheaper than the rest of the role players. He's coming off the game of his life. What I recommended him as the first guy in the video the other day, he seemed like a pretty easy play. He was popular for a reason. Never in my wildest dreams did I think he was going to go for 50 DK points and 39 real offense. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. What do I expect out of him today? I expect a lot more of what we saw in second to last game 5, than what we just saw. His peripherals haven't been great. There's no way he's going to shoot it like he did last game. So I think he makes for an interesting fade, too, in GPPs. And what I mean by that is Terrence Mann was the man last game. But he hasn't done anything to make us believe he's ever going to do anything close to this again. That being said, he's cheaper than the other guys. They clearly feel good about him right now, so he should see good, solid run today. And I think he's in play at 4,900. But no lock for me necessarily to get there. The same kind of goes for Batum and Marcus Morris. These guys all got well-deserved and warranted price jumps. Could Marcus Morris be great today? Hell yeah, he could be. But I'm not in love with Marcus Morris or Nick Batum today. I mean, they've gotten price bumps that they've deserved. So I think the Clippers are just filled with guys you can play, but nobody that I like all of these Suns players better than them. So next up, let's move over to Atlanta. So with Atlanta, Trey and Bogdanovich, these guys are playing today. There's no question about me. Bogdanovich has definitely looked hurt lately, so not going there. And I will take the big fat L on this one. I thought coming off of a really special Game 5 that we would see a steady dose of Lou Williams. Well, this was 2 parts right here. 1, he didn't play that much, and 2, he was terrible when he played. So I still think there's a wild card with him right here, but I have zero faith in him. I don't want to just over-evaluate his performance based on last game, but that is a tough thing to get to again. Trae Young. All right, man. So Book is my star of choice today. But then we get down to Trey and Embiid. And we saw the stars, Giannis and KD, go off last night. I wouldn't over-evaluate based on that. But the thing I take out of that game was I think Trey could step up to 44 minutes today. The problem is, gun to head, I'm still going Joel Embiid over Trae Young, and I can't play both of them. They just don't fit into a lineup. So, no respect, but no thanks. Haven't heard the game, man. Again, I am not pacing this one at home. He's big bucks now he was awesome last game. 11 boards. Just that's not happening. This is a guy throughout the series and just happened to get 11 last game. So it's great. It was awesome. It's not happening. Not game log chasing him. I liked Collins last game. He was awful. Played his worst game of the series. Shot 2 of 8. Was not a server. Not trying to get there today necessarily. Honestly, the guy from the Hawks, and if I'm playing in the GPP that I could get on board with, would be Gallinari. Veteran presence, outside shooter. Again, he does nothing but score a rebound. I mean, this guy's got no blocks, no steals, and 4 assists through the last 5 games. So he's completely reliant on 2 statistical categories. But a veteran guy in a game like this, I can get on board with Gallo. I don't think he would go in a quote-unquote main lineup. But he's very affordable. We don't have a ton of guys below 5K we feel great about. And especially if you feel like the Hawks maybe are playing from behind and need to go a little bit smaller to try to catch up, I could see where Gallo would be a guy that I would take a look at. And as far as Philly goes, I mean, this comes down to one big thing for me, and that's Joel Embiid. Now, we know he's not healthy. We also know he's going to play. This is a bad loss for the Sixers if he can't go. I'm going to assume that Joel gives you everything that he has today, like everything. I know he's not 100%, and it's a terrible look, though, for the Sixers if they lose this series. So give me Embiid. Give me Embiid over anybody else in the 76ers. You ride with your best players. Maxey is coming off of a great game, but I would not read too much into this one. Ben Simmons was in perpetual foul trouble last game. This made another point guard on there. He had a nice game. Don't think he's getting anywhere close to here today. Just remember, this guy played 1 minute in the previous game before that. So, no thanks. Simmons, Tobias Harris, I get why they could be okay. I don't think Korkmaz is a terrible play. Mostly because, like, as much as I don't like him, he's a little bit cheaper than a bunch of the other pay down options, which could really be of a benefit today. You know, you could play him at the small forward role. And while I'm not even anywhere remotely close to being excited about playing Korkmaz right here, price savings, no doubt about it, it's a big help right here. You know, there's other guys you could shoot your shot with, but man, like I ain't trying to. I get he could play better, but I mean, I'm not excited about price. In the last Seth Curry now, he can't. We talked about the day he went for 51. We'll just chalk that up to get a great game, and we got a little lucky that we happened to bring him up that day. I think the key number for me is this guy's playing almost 40 minutes a game now. And with no danger, really need his floor spending, especially with Tobias Harris. A little bit of a no-show. That I like Curry. I don't love him. The price tag has gone up. In my heart of hearts, he's still more 26.5 points a game like he did in game 4 than he is last 2 games. But he's hot right now. He's a shooter playing with confidence. If you can fit him in your lineup, I like him. I just don't. It's not a priority for me. Power forwards, definitely not the strongest position today. So this is where, like, Gallo through Batum, they're all in play. I don't have great feelings about any of them. One of the reasons I brought up Gallinari is, man, he makes life a lot easier to fit him in your lineup. If you went with Curry, you could now finish her off with Jay Crowder. I'm not saying this is my lineup, but this gives you a general idea of, you know, close to what it is, what we're looking like. So that's it for today, guys. Good luck today. Go win yourself some money. Happy Dad's Day. And do the best to enjoy everything that's out there for you guys.